Yeah, it's brand new to everybody. I just figured it out. Hi you guys, welcome back to Real Talk. This week I want to talk about a difficult situation, unfortunate situation that happened to Iggy Azalea this past weekend. Apparently, a couple of inappropriate photos that were taken of her back in 2016 for GQ were released onto the internet, and she describes the experience as being a horrifying, traumatizing one. She released a statement on Twitter and she says, "I feel blindsided, embarrassed, violated, angry, sad, and a million other things. Not solely because I did not consent to this, but because of the vile way people have reacted. A lot of comments I see from men in particular are taking things even further and sharing their thoughts and their fantasies regarding my body has honestly disturbed me." Like Iggy said, this is obviously a huge violation of her privacy and her consent, but I want to share with you today why as a Christian we understand this to be a whole lot worse than just a violation of privacy. As Christians, we understand the human person to be both a body and a soul. And we tend to think of these things as two very separate, distinct things. But I think we think of it that way because of our understanding of death, right? That at the end of our life, our soul is taken from our body and our body then becomes simply a corpse because there's nothing living inside of it. But the Catechism talks about the soul being the very form of the body. They're not two separate natures, but rather they share a single individual nature. We see the full realization of the human person in the person of Jesus Christ, right? That God himself took on human flesh and showed us what the human body really is, the full capacity of it, right? That our soul is eternal and that our body, though it may be subjected to death, is meant to be resurrected again. When Jesus returned to us, he didn't return as a ghost or a disembodied being or spirit, but rather we saw that in the end, the body and the soul will be together united. All this to say, it's totally understandable why Iggy Azalea would feel objectified and used as she sees the entire internet disregarding her soul and merely treating her as a body to be viewed. To think of it, when we treat someone as though they are just a body, we might as well be considering them dead. This is much more than an invasion of consent or privacy. We know that as Christians, to objectify the body is to disregard the soul. It's clear that culture sees this as a problem, but at the same time, they're not really sure why it's a problem, which makes it so important for us as Christians to be a witness to the beauty of the human person being both body and soul, to show them this dimension to themselves that is beautiful and incredible and God created and eternal. I encourage you to go into the week with this new knowledge of the human person being a beautiful body and a soul. How is that going to change the way that you look at yourself? How is that going to change the way that you treat and respect the people around you? To understand that we deserve, as human beings, so much more than respect. We deserve reverence because of the way that God has created us. If you have any other thoughts, I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next week for more Real Talk. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so choppy. Like, that's a style. Yeah. That's cool, yeah. Right. Okay.